So let's talk about Parker-Hannifin. This industrial giant just kicked off its fiscal year with a massive bang, posting numbers that have Wall Street buzzing. But what's really going on behind their incredible success? We're going to break it all down.
Okay, so you hear the term record-breaking quarter thrown around a lot, right? But what does that actually look like for a company of this scale? Let's put some real numbers on the table.
First up, the big one, sales. We're talking a record $5.1 billion. And get this, it wasn't because they bought some other company. This was pure organic growth, 5% of it, meaning they just sold more of their own stuff, straight from their existing business. And all that revenue? Well, it trickled right down to the bottom line. Their adjusted earnings per share, which is a really key way to measure profitability, just shot up by an incredible 16% compared to this time last year. But honestly, this next number might be the most impressive of all, because it shows just how incredibly efficient they are. Their adjusted operating margin hit a record 27.4%. That's a huge jump of 1.7 percentage points. It's a massive sign of just pure operational strength.
The chairman and CEO, Jenny Parmentier, said it perfectly. She gave all the credit to their global team for hitting records on basically every important metric. Numbers like this don't just happen by accident. So the big question is, what's the secret sauce? What's the strategy?
Well, the answer really comes down to a business system they've been perfecting for years. It's called the WIN strategy. So at its heart, the WIN strategy is all about empowering teams and being absolutely relentless when it comes to execution. You can almost think of it as the company's central operating system. It's what drives everything they do, from their top-notch safety record to these amazing financial results. Now let's look at the 4 pillars that really make this whole thing work. First, they have a decentralized structure. 85 different divisions that basically run like their own little businesses. This creates a real sense of ownership. Second, it's all about innovative products. They protect their ideas fiercely with intellectual property. And finally, they lean on a massive distribution network and some seriously deep engineering expertise to solve really tough problems for their customers. And yeah, they've branded it. This isn't just some catchphrase on a slide. It's the real cultural and operational engine that the entire company's built around. A huge part of their success is that they apply this strategy across so many different markets. As you can see, aerospace is the biggest chunk of the pie, but they are strong all over the place. That diversification, it makes them incredibly resilient. If one area is facing some trouble, the others can pick up the slack. So let's zoom in on that biggest piece of the pie because one part of their business had an absolutely stellar quarter. I'm talking about aerospace. Okay, this table right here, it tells the whole story. Look, their diversified industrial segments did great, both posting solid growth and record margins, which is awesome on its own. But then you look at Aerosystems and wow, it is just on another level. 13% organic growth and a mind-blowing 30% margin. And this isn't some one-time thing. This is the 11th quarter in a row. That's almost 3 full years of double-digit organic growth for their aerospace business. That kind of consistency in such a tough industry is it's truly remarkable. Parker's CFO, Todd Bruno, he pretty much summed it all up with this quote. It just captures that feeling, They're riding this huge wave of momentum, all thanks to crazy demand from both commercial and defense aviation. And that brings us to this incredible number. For the first time in company history, the aerospace segment hit a 30% operating margin. That is a massive achievement. It's a mix of record sales, super profitable aftermarket services, and just flat-out amazing productivity. So after a quarter like that, you have to ask, what comes next? Well, let's just say Parker is feeling pretty good about the future. Yeah, based on these powerful results, plus the fact that new orders are up 8% across the whole company, they're not just looking back, they're looking ahead and raising their financial forecast for the entire year. And this table shows you exactly what that looks like. They've bumped up their sales growth expectations to about 4%, they've raised their target for operating margin to a super healthy 27%, and they now think adjusted earnings per share will land somewhere around the $30 mark. All good news. So there you have it. Parker-Hannifin has a proven strategy, a really resilient business, and an aerospace division that is just on fire. They've shown they can execute like crazy.
The big question now is, can they keep this momentum going? Especially with all the supply chain issues and, the complexities of the global economy. Where will their next big challenge or their next big opportunity come from?